Okay, so you sent me this YouTube video, right, about Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt getting engaged. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, even I was kind of surprised by this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I mean, you probably already know all the basic stuff, right? The Christmas proposal, and it was at a church in Florida, and they both have kids from their, previous marriages.
Right.
Um, but I think that you're not really here for, like, the tabloidy,
Yeah. Yeah.
rundown of all that. You want to go deeper, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot more to unpack here, I think, than just the, kind of like celebrity news aspect.
Right, exactly.
This story, actually touches on some pretty significant, I think, societal shifts,
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that, even in your own life, you're seeing more and more blended families, right?
For sure.
This isn't just a Hollywood thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like the Pew Research Center, they found that over 16% of children in the U.S. are living in blended families.
Wow.
And that's a huge chunk of the population.
It is.
And what's interesting, too, is that Hannity and Earhardt's kids are, reportedly supportive of this whole thing.
Right.
Does this engagement kind of make you rethink what normal looks like?
I think it definitely challenges kind of those old school, leave it to beaver, ideals about family.
Yeah.
And it raises questions about how these families navigate those dynamics, especially when you add in, the public scrutiny they're under.
Right. And speaking of public scrutiny, let's talk about that whole faith elements of this.
Yes.
I mean, that proposal at the church, it wasn't exactly subtle.
Not at all.
It really puts their faith, front and center.
Yes.
Which is interesting, right? Considering what they do. They're in media, specifically at Fox News.
For sure.
So, and you've been following Fox News for a while.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I mean, this very public display of faith. Does it kind of line up with how you perceive the network's culture?
That's a really great question. I mean, you often expect public figures, right, especially in media, to kind of keep their personal life private.
Right.
But can you really separate something like faith that's so central to your identity from your work?
Right.
I mean, think about historical figures, right? Like Martin Luther King Jr. or William Wilberforce.
Wow.
Their beliefs were totally inseparable from their public actions.
Exactly. And it brings up that question that, we always kind of debate. How much does a public figure's private life really matter?
Right.
Is it any of our business?
Is it our business? Yeah.
Especially when they're, on national television broadcasting their lives anyway.
Exactly.
That YouTube video that you shared, it also mentioned that they were, quote unquote, secretly dating for years.
Right, right.
So why the secrecy?
Well, I think part of it might be a genuine desire for privacy.
Right.
Which is, understandable. But it also plays into that whole celebrity gossip machine, right?
Oh, yeah.
That public fascination with their lives.
Yeah.
And then the media's role in kind of, fueling speculation.
Right.
It creates this cycle of secrecy and revelation, right? That keeps everybody hooked.
Right. Keeps us coming back for more.
Exactly.
Okay, so now for the big question that I think everybody's thinking about.
Yeah.
How is this going to impact Fox News?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be living in different states, we know that much, because of their work commitments.
Right.
So do you think that they can make this work? And I don't just mean the relationship, but their careers at Fox News, is that even possible?
Well, the research shows that long-distance relationships can be just as satisfying as geographically close ones.
Oh, interesting.
If the couple has, strong communication and a shared vision for the future.
Got it.
But obviously there's added pressure when you have those high-profile media careers.
Right. Let's be honest. I mean, the media loves a good story.
Of course.
Do you see this as a potential shift in the network's dynamic at all?
I don't know. I think it's definitely something that media analysts are going to be watching closely. It's fascinating how even something as personal as an engagement, right, can have these ripple effects.
Right.
And potentially, impact the whole media landscape.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is.
This one seemingly straightforward engagement has us thinking about everything from, evolving family structures to the role of faith in public life.
Right.
To, the unique pressures that high-profile couples face.
For sure.
And even our own obsession with celebrity culture,
It's true, yeah.
It's a lot.
It really is.
So as we wrap up here, just a final thought for you, given this whole blending of personal lives and public personas, especially in media,
Yeah.
where do we draw the line? Is our interest in a public figure's private life really genuine? Or are we all just looking to be entertained, you know?
Good question.
Something to think about as you keep following this story, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.